Dìdi.
There's nothing that is more terrifying for a 13-year-old boy than like stillness and being with his own thoughts. His life outside of the home is the sort of like adolescent chaos, everything coming at him from every different angle, and he's sort of like looking around for his identity.
Wang, you a handsome motherfucker, man.
We met early on in film school. We started making stuff together.
Sam was kind of like the handsome golden child because this was 2013, 2014, and he had a Red camera.
Our first summer there, we went to Sean's hometown, Fremont. He had told us stories over the past year about like his teenage shenanigans. So it was cool just to get to know some of his childhood friends, which ultimately would become the inspiration for Dìdi.
I'm a little bit scared, but only in the way that like you're scared because you care about something. I've never done this before. So.
We were all pretty young filmmakers, kind of growing through our 20s. And by the time the script was kind of ready to be made, we had all made a bunch of other narrative shorts and documentary shorts. And we took all of that experience and I think tried to infuse it into Dìdi.
It's not always practical, but I feel like the best way to prepare to shoot just about any feature is to make some sort of documentary study, you know, within that world.
If you guys like need a filmer, I film.
You film?
Yeah.
I think if you look back through Sean and I's text thread over the years, it'd be interesting to sort of chart the way the visual language of Dìdi emerged just from being friends. And, you know, even before it was realistic that we would get to make this movie.
Sam has such a way with words in his visual Bible, but I think there was one thing he wrote that was like, it should feel like kind of elegantly hodgepodge. Can you have all these formats kind of mashed together, but have it feel like it makes sense for the 13-year-old boy in 2008?
We wanted to establish a visual language that could be irreverent and cut from, you know, something really sort of soulful to like handycam footage of a dead squirrel.
That's fun. We should do that for every movie.
In the home, the camera is very sort of like heavy. It's this place that a, you know, 12, 13-year-old kid just wants to get away from. And then outside the home, it's untethered, you know, and it's energetic and youthful and free.
This like documentary spontaneity. Our first 10 days was like all of our set pieces back to back to back to back to back. So we were in a different location every single day with different characters. We're gonna shoot all the squirrel stuff. But then it was like the next day was like our big skate day. And then the next day was like high school orientation. So there were like 100 extras. Like we had to be on right away. Like there was kind of no room for error.
Yes! Oh yes!
吃完饭你不要马上运动啊？
We spent 6 weeks shot listing every day during prep and still felt like we were having to kind of revise and rethink things and just adapt on the fly.
But I feel good. I feel like we're getting great stuff.
The final shot of Isaac in the movie is one of my favorite shots. It was kind of like trying to direct a dialogue-less scene where like you have to get the emotion in their eyes. And so it was interesting trying to direct both Isaac and Joan for that scene because it was like, he needs to feel like a 6-year-old in this scene where he's like the most sort of innocent version of himself in the movie. The script was kind of, you know, getting deeper in terms of like its themes of family and identity and sort of shame.
I think the movie was about faces all along. It's an intimate coming-of-age story, and some of these close-ups, these singles on Joan and Isaac are the ones that I think will last in my mind when I think about this project. It's cool to see like your friends growing right in front of you.
I had a moment yesterday where like it cracked. I started crying. I think seeing Joan hang out with my mom and my grandma hanging out with Joan and her daughter and becoming a family off screen, I think that's been very, very special to see.
You know, we made a movie, you know, our first narrative feature with a big group of friends, and now it's like a family, and yeah, we're both just so proud of the audiences that it's reached and the way it's resonated with audiences, and can't wait to continue to build on that.